Welcome to the Rooftop. This is Hugo Alberto August again. I'm here with Courtney, a friend of mine. She's been doing comedy for years. I've met her countless shows, and we're just hanging out here. So I want you to get to know. Say hi, Courtney.
Hello, America.
Well, I don't know about America since probably nobody really watches it. You gotta get whoever's on it. You know what I'm saying there. So anyways, we're going to talk about, well, basically in general, how you been? How you been doing?
I'm doing really well. Getting stronger every day.
So I'd like to just, is it okay if I talk about what happened to you?
Sure.
All right. Well, Courtney here had a aneurysm, brain aneurysm, in the center of her brain, which is obviously very dangerous, very deadly. She was basically on her deathbed, right? And then she had a stroke, or some kind of a stroke that actually alleviated the brain aneurysm and stopped her from dying. So in itself, that's kind of a miracle, right?
Yes.
She's still here with us. She's doing really well. And this has happened how long ago?
About 4 months now.
So it's been 4 months since she had a brain aneurysm and a stroke. And here she is on a rooftop with Hugo Alberto August, hanging out. So that shows you that if you're motivated enough to live, you're gonna live, right?
Yeah.
We just we were supposed to meet at the Improv last night. She ended up going. I ended up showing up late, like always. I was hanging out there and blah blah blah, and she was there. How long were you there for?
A couple of hours.
And you were hanging out, talking to the comics and whatnot.
No, just picking up the vibe. There were comics there when I was there.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I showed up to the Improv also, and there was nobody in the front. I guess people were all in the back watching the performances or whatever. And then there's a bar in the back. It's a real cool venue. I highly recommend going to the Improv. But then again, Saturday nights, LA, people go everywhere else. You know, people want to go out to fancy restaurants, and they want to go to Hollywood and Sunset and pick up on the prostitutes. That includes the females too, you know. Everybody goes for the hookers, right?
Yeah.
Right, Courtney? You go for the hookers too? No, it's not really. That's pretty much just for me. Or for the boys and the girls who like that kind of a thing. So either way, we were talking about depression. I guess we were talking about Robin Williams a little earlier.
Yeah.
We were mentioning how you were saying that you don't believe that people should commit suicide.
I basically think that wherever there's life, there's always a measure, some kind of measure of hope. And you just got to find it. I mean, it might be helping somebody else.
Right.
It might be, I don't mean giving a person a helping hand. Maybe you can steer them in the right direction by telling them, if you go over there, they will give you a job and train you so you can feed yourself.
Right.
That's all anybody wants, is to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that it's always, if you got life, it's always hope.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of from the other side saying, well, not really. It depends, in my opinion, what position, what situation you're in. Like if you're physically terminal and you're suffering and there's no other way, no other hope aside from it, then I'm not really against suicide.
I'm not either.
And Robin Williams, he had extreme depression, and I can't say, because you know how depression, I've been depressed. I've gone through depression, and I know you can get over it over time. However, I think he was depressed his whole life. I think, I think he was going through full-time depression his entire life, on camera, in front of people, always, hey, giving it his all.
Always up and manic.
Yeah, but at the same time, is it right for him to have taken himself out? Do you think it was okay, or you think maybe he should have tried to work it out?
Here's the thing, I think that wherever there's life, there's always a measure of hope. And on the same level, I think that I applaud his right. What do you want to do?
He chose it. You can't tell him, because there's very religious people out there who say it's a sin. He's gonna go to hell or something something ridiculous like that. When in reality, no, not in my opinion, of course, because how you die has nothing to do with who you were as a person. In terms of If you're a good person, you're a good person. That's all there is to it. If you decide to do something to yourself, I think people have the individual right to choose how they're going to treat their body, what they're going to do to their body. Now, at the same time, suicide to me also is not an option when it's just like, like you were saying, when there's life, there's hope. If there's life, there's hope, and you could fight through it. If you're feeling depressed or feeling bummed out and all that, if you're depressed your whole life and blah, 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 you can still fight through it. There's a way out of it. Robin Williams chose his way. People could have chosen another. You were also talking about some poets that she died recently. What's her name?
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou.
She always had poetry about life in spite of whatever. And she had one poem that talked about how life would sometimes beat us all the way to the ground to get us to change directions.
Right on.
So I'm a big believer in there's some huge things out there.
In the universe.
In the universe. Some huge things out there. And I just want to be open to, what can I get? What you got for me?
Whatever's out there. Absolutely. So for me, personally, when she's talking about the universe, I believe in universal power, obviously. I've talked about it in the past. You saw if you've looked at some of the Rooftop talk, I've talked about positive energy, the secret. And, we have dark energy out there that physicists, they can't explain it. They're like, they're saying, a lot of physicists say, there's no life after death. Once you die, you're dead. That's all there is to it. And then you ask them, okay, so what's dark energy? Well, we can't really explain it. So if you can't explain dark energy, how are you explaining death? How do you know more about one thing than the other? Just keep your mouth shut and do your science. You know what I'm saying? Do your work. Figure out dark energy. Figure out what it is because they say dark energy is what holds the universe together, what draws everything together. It's the energy that holds basically the essence of the universe, and they can't explain what it is. What is dark energy? And I think that's what it is when we pass on to the other side. That's where it goes. The dark energy, light energy, they call it dark energy because it's invisible, not because it's malevolent or because of that. They just call it dark energy because it's dark. That's what we're looking at right now. This is dark energy. And then we have it right here in our little hand, right here, right in front of us. This is dark energy. And that's what life is energy. Everything around us is energy. How we live. Look at Courtney. She's a prime example of a person who's faced life-threatening situation, and here she is right now. And then she's being positive. She's being happy. We're smoking. I'm not going to say what. We're drinking some beers, right? You still got your beer right here? We're hanging out. By the way, somebody gave this to us.
Cheers.
Salud. And we're hanging out on the roof. Why? Because life isn't about tomorrow. Life is about what's happening right now, at this moment. What I talk about all the time. Staying positive, staying strong, and being fearless. Learning to be fearless. I'm not fearless completely. I want to be fearless, but I'm learning to be fearless. I'm going out there. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to do my own thing. And that's what Courtney does. And that's what all my friends do. We're all comedians because that's the circle I run with. And so comedians really are fearless. Because they may, because people go out and say, hey man, that comic wasn't very funny. I've seen that before. That comic wasn't very funny. Yeah, well guess what? That comic was on stage. Were you? It takes a lot of courage to get up on a stage just in the very first place. It's about being fearless, being strong, having the belief in yourself that things are going to turn out right, that things are going to be good, and staying strong and staying positive. That's about it. You have nothing else that there is to it. What are you reaching for there, Courtney? Looking for a purse right here. So you're going to be performing anywhere?
I found this place I like down in Fontana, I think. Thursdays.
You like it?
The name right off. I might go there this coming Thursday.
Have you performed there already?
Yeah, I did last and then Bobby's got a spot in town,
Bobby. Who's Bobby?
Bobby Oliver.
Oh, the lady from Ice House, or from yeah, the Ice House in Pasadena. She's still doing a show there, right? Bobby Oliver now has a show out in the OC.
Well, it's in Powell Comedy. It's in kind of like Hollywood area.
Oh, Hollywood. So you're gonna be hitting up her shows and stuff?
It's a good workout room.
Yeah.
I'll go there and work on some stuff I'm working on.
And then we'll hang out maybe at the Hollywood Hotel. Do some spots there. Remember you were supposed to meet me there, and she drove all over the place. And I go, it's on Vermont. And she go, okay, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard. I go, yeah, but the place is on Vermont. Okay, now I'm on Highland. I go, yeah, but the place is on Vermont. Okay, now I'm on Wilton. I go, all right.
I never found her.
Well, you got to remember now, it's been 4 months. You're going to have to give yourself a little more time before you get more remembrance, you know? You got to give your body time to heal. And so sometimes you're going to forget where you're at and all that. But that's cool because I'm forgetful. That's probably because I'm a stoner. Yeah, but it was funny. Yesterday she was telling me, I'm over here, I'm over there. And I'm like, okay, that's not the street we were looking for. But you know, really that's kind of one of the common threads with comics, isn't it? We're all kind of like...
Loopy.
Exactly. We're loopy. We're loopy. Comedians are loopy. Comedians, we're just, the reason we do comedy is, I think it has a lot to do with that, doesn't it? To avoid, I guess, like our own psychotic, our own psychosis. We get on stage because every comedian I know, all my friends, we all have like one common denominator is we're not normal. And there's nobody really normal, right? Think about it. People think they're normal, and then you listen to them like, you're not normal. Everybody, even Obama isn't that normal. Right. People, oh yeah, this one. What politician do you know is normal? Do you know a politician that hasn't been like abnormal or like actually, you're like, people are people all around. We're all the same, but comedians are an extra phase of abnormal. They like, they know really.
Good to hear.
No, it's true though. It's true because every comedian I know has serious issues of some kind or another, like including myself. And I'm not saying serious like, we're gonna go out and blow somebody away. I'm talking about we have bipolarism. I have, I've been through depression, anxiety. Sometimes, even now, even with all my meditation and all my thing, and I still get moody. I'll be at home. Why am I mad? And I can't get over it for some reason. All the meditation in the world sometimes doesn't help when you're angry, right? Because we're people. That's what it is. We're only people. We're human. Everybody's fallible, and so what it is we have to understand ourselves. And as a comedian, we do. Good comedians talk about themselves on stage. They talk about their experiences. They talk not give everything away, but sure, because that's what makes us funny. It makes us who we are. When we're talking about whatever's going on in our lives, and then we characterize it. I do all kinds of different material and whatnot, but comedians need to express themselves on stage, one form or another. Just like musicians, just like my sister's a dancer, and she expresses herself through her dance, but comedians get to do it more because we get to express ourselves through trying to be funny. And normally we're not. That's the funny thing about it is very often we're not as funny as we want to be, but we're expressing ourselves on that stage, right? And that's the whole thing. When you see a comedian out there and he's blowing it away and blowing down the doors and all that, that's awesome and everything like that. But also when you're out there just doing your thing and just talking to the audience, that's what we do it for the experience of being out there, enjoying the company of the audience, enjoying the fact that, not bombing sucks. Bombing sucks. But at the same time, this is the art form that we've chosen, And that's what happens, right? You go through that. It's like Lucille Ball. I was talking about Lucille Ball, that I consider her to be a Latina hero. Or not Latina, because she's not Latina. She is a hero to the Hispanic community, because she did do some, Desi Arnaz. She, got him on her show. Or when they got the show, she said either he's on the show with me, or we're not doing no show at all. They could have told her, no, you know what, we're not going to do no show. So she took a big serious chance, because it's not going to work. You can't be married. A mixed couple in 1950s America is not going to work. A Hispanic man with a white woman, it's not, it looks wrong. It's wrong. And she said, no way, man, no way. Either this happens or it's not going to happen. And finally they gave in, and look what happened. The TV series is still on right now. I was watching it. It's on every Friday on Channel 13 here, and every weekend you see her on there. And the reason being is because it's a great show. And he became executive producer. That was part of it. So she's a person who obviously not only is a humanitarian, a great comedian, a great actress, a great woman, but she's also a person who has no discrimination in her. And that was very rare. I mean, that was very rare to have a person at that time who was willing to do what she did. You know what I'm saying? And so I consider, and people, Latinos and Hispanic, we don't have pictures of Lucille Ball in our homes. We just got pictures of Jesus Christ looking in all kinds of directions and stuff. And we have maybe Cesar Chavez, because he's Hispanic. But Lucille Ball should really be up there in Hispanic homes. People should really be going, hey man, she really, she cared. Ricky Ricardo, Desi Arnaz, but Ricky Ricardo, that character, the Ricardos, he used to say, Lucy! And like he was pretending to, oh, Ricky, don't hit me, Ricky, don't hit me. She didn't have to do that. She was the boss. She was the boss. And instead, what did she do? She loved her husband so much, but not only that, she cared less about racism. Back in that time. So I consider her a Latina hero, I was thinking about that she should be a hero. Right? I don't know what you guys think about it, but I know for a fact that she should be. So what else, Courtney? What else should we talk about?
Oh, what else should we talk about?
You been feeling good?
I've been feeling good.
Oh, by the way, she teaches Pilates too, right? You still do the Pilates teaching?
Pilates in Calabasas.
Wow. Where? That's San Diego, isn't it?
No, that's other side of the bridge over there.
Oh, it's not that far away? Okay. Calabasas. I have no idea. Everything that's...
It's up to 101.
Oh, right on, right on. So she's still teaching Pilates. I'm talking about it. This is 4 months after she was all sick and whatnot. She's still doing her thing, man. She's a Pilates instructor. So you could check her out too, because she's doing Pilates 4 months. I don't even do Pilates now.
Pilates brought me through, baby. Stroke or not.
How long after you had your stroke were you doing Pilates again?
About 4 months. I have to go back to work after 4 months.
Really? So it didn't take you long at all. But, well, it took you a while. But at the same time, not as long as, for what you went through?
It was a very interesting event.
What did it feel like, by the way? Did you feel anything?
I didn't feel anything. I got a total mind wipe. I didn't remember anything. I didn't feel anything.
You don't remember anything from the event at all? Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow. That's kind of interesting in a sense.
When I came to, the nurses were taking care of me. They were very good to me. But I never remembered the event.
Did you have it at home?
No, I was at work. I was teaching 2 clients Pilates. I passed out in the middle of the class between 2 clients. And 2 of them got me to the hospital.
Wow. So do you remember that? You don't remember that
I
either?
don't remember that either.
They just told you that's what happened. That you were teaching to 2 clients, and then you fell down right there?
Teaching 1 client and passed out with her, and then she had to leave. The other one came in, and they both kind of, I was passed out on the floor.
And what do? They call an ambulance?
Called an ambulance. Took me to a hospital in Northridge.
Wow. Are they still your clients, by the way?
They are.
You're still teaching them?
I'm still teaching them.
Wow. So they got you. They called the ambulance.
It saved my life.
Yeah, and then now you're teaching them again 4 months later.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. But that's a trip. And of course they're just happy to see you.
Yes.
They just love the fact. How long have you been teaching them? A long time?
Quite a while, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. So you don't remember anything? There was
Nothing.
no out of body experience?
I had an out of body experience, but I don't know if it was real. I got a boyfriend. I was like walking down this. You ever go to the beaches with the June bloom?
Yeah.
That was my experience. Walking with some guy in June bloom, and then I woke up in the hospital.
So you were, when you were out from the aneurysm and the stroke, you saw yourself on the beach with a foggy, one of those beautiful kind of like foggy June, sunny kind of things, and there was you were with the man. You have a boyfriend now? And who was his boyfriend? Do you remember him? Was he a black guy or a white guy?
White guy.
A white guy? Was it Jesus Christ by any chance?
I don't know, but I didn't remember his name.
Were you guys holding hands?
We were holding.
And was the ocean right here?
Yeah, it was like a foggy day.
And did it feel real? Was it a
felt
dream?
real. I could feel the sand under my toes.
And you remember it now vividly?
Vividly.
So it wasn't really like a dream then, because dreams we don't remember. I know people don't realize that part, but when people have visions or people have something, that they remember. But dreams, we don't very much, we remember parts of dreams. But when you have something like that, is it vivid? You remember the walking, the whole thing. Oh wow! So that was an out of body experience, absolutely.
Wow. And then I woke up in the hospital to nurses saying, "Here, honey, take this pill."
Yeah. You just did you have tubes in your nose and stuff? No, they just had you laying in the bed. Wow! And they told you what happened?
They told me what happened. Some people have written in the journal describing it. 2 friends who helped me to get to the hospital, they wrote their experiences in the journal and gave it to me when they came to visit me so I could read, because I didn't remember any of it.
Wow.
The year before, the day before, I didn't remember any of it.
That's crazy. Well, that's the way, yeah. Well, you had a, I mean, that's kooky though. I mean, the dream, the out of body, so you did have that. And people, I mean, that's, you had a miracle in your life.
Yeah, I did.
You had a miracle in your life.
I did.
And so, this white guy that you had in your dream, which that's the one that interests me, or not your dream, your out of body experience. Have you ever seen this guy before?
I had met him a year before.
You met him a year before. Okay, so you already knew him prior to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and do you still know this guy? Where'd you meet him at?
I don't remember any of it. I lost all of that.
You lost all, that's what you're talking about. So you lost all that.
All that information.
Wow. So you lost essentially a whole year? Really? So you don't remember what happened like last year? But you remember the year before?
Maybe.
So you don't remember a lot of information, but it's coming back to you because of course it's only been 4 months. Yeah, no, it will. It will. I know because I've gone through blanks myself. But you don't want to remember everything anyways.
No.
In all honesty, I mean, yeah, memories are nice, but how many of us really want to remember what happened last year? Or the year before? You're starting off fresh almost, like a whole new life.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new life, It's like you're going to start off fresh. You got, there's so much... Right now, you just mentioned, I would like to lose last year too, and the year before. As a matter of fact, I like to forget the last 10 years, and just remember what's going on forward. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some decent memories in the last few years and blah blah blah. But we all go through a lot of, whatever it is, But look at you now. You're right here. You're strong. You're hanging out with me. We're going to be performing, we're going to be hanging out, hooking up a lot more when we do like, the improv. I don't know if you're going to be hooking up there with me again. Even though we didn't hook up last night.
Yeah, that was a good experience. I could do that again.
The Improv is a great place to be. So is the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, the Ice House, and all the other comedy venues that are out there. They're all great places to be. But the Improv, in my opinion, is one of the best places in the world. I think it's probably the best comedy place in the world. Because other places have improvs like Vegas, New York. The original one I think is New York or something like that. But they have them in England, or they have them all over the world. I don't know if they have them anymore in London or whatnot, but they probably do. And the best one is this one right here, because this is where all the people, famous people, hang out. This is where all the if you go to the Improv on any given night, you're going to bump into somebody famous, somebody who works in the industry, somebody who's, you know. So I mean, we're going to be hanging out there. We're going to be hanging out at Hollywood Hotel. We're going to be hanging out at the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory. We're going to be hitting up the venues locally, because I'm going to be bringing all that stuff to you guys here, on the rooftop. And then we're going to be drinking our beers and smoking or whatever, and bringing it all over the place. And having fun. That's what it is, right? Life's about for me, this is what this is about. Life's too short. Right, Courtney? You know, she experienced it. She knows it for a fact that life's too short. You know, you got an extra, you got an extra look at. I mean, you get more, years in your life when you could have ended it. Could have ended right then and there. It could have been over, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm always talking about the rooftop. I go, hey, you could live 87 years. My father lived to be 87 years. You think that's a long time? That ain't long at all. That tree right there is 87 years old. You know, this building right here is 100 years old. This building right here that we're on right now is from 1911. So this is a 103-year-old building, okay? And this building isn't old compared to, geology. And, we're not here that long, and that's what I talk about. We have to have fun while we're here. We have to enjoy ourselves. We have to do whatever we want to do that makes us, Courtney says that she wants to make a living as a comedian. That's her dream. And you have to stick with your dreams. That's the whole idea of everything. Like me, for instance, bringing this show to you, is the idea is I'm just doing something for fun that I enjoy. And the reason is because I get to hang out with people like Courtney. I get to hang out with comedians and actors. I'm going to be bringing musicians to you. I'm going to be bringing all that stuff to you. I'm going to be hanging out with, I'm going to try to bring Cody, that dude I met from TMZ last night. I'm going to try to get him up here. Because that guy was so cool too, man. That guy was awesome. I met him at the Improv. And he works for TMZ, so that was pretty awesome. Meeting him. And those are the kind of people I hang out with. I mean, those are the kind of people that I meet all the time. And Courtney here, herself, she's a performer. She's been on cable. You been on cable? Have you ever been on a cable show, BET or anything?
No.
You haven't been on. I seen you. Didn't I see you on the? I saw a bunch of clips of you from like the Ice House.
I did the Ice House. I did that comedy.
That was with Bobby Oliver? And that's on YouTube, right? You still got those clips on there? And that's what, the show's about. I'll be bringing you those clips, by the way. I'm going to bring you some clips of Courtney here so you can see him and whatnot. And, whatever. You can see her face, because right now we're up here in the dark. Talking. Just getting stoned. You want another hit? Of the cigarette, tobacco. It's not what you guys think. The only reason we inhale it and hold it for a certain amount of period is because we like our tobacco. Right, Courtney? It's just tobacco. Well, maybe not. Whatever it is, it's none of your business. This isn't beer either. So, what else should we talk about, Courtney?
So you obviously want to talk about Robin Williams. Let's talk about that.
Well, you didn't want to talk about Robin Williams, though. You were saying like, well, okay. This is my thing with Robin Williams. Okay, when I found out he died, I started crying right away. You know, because I love the dude so much. And I actually do some commentary on Robin Williams on this show too. But this is the reason well, my thing with him is he died angry. Okay, because the way he did it, it wasn't, you know, when you just want to get it over with, you take sleeping pills or you shoot yourself in the head. Whatever is the least painful way to die, right? He decided to use a belt, hang it up between a closet door and a door, and strangle himself. And then he cut his wrist. According, you know, they were very graphic. The police let all that information out. Some people are angry about it. Death is death, you know, whatever, man. It's not a, you know. But the thing is that it shows he was mad. It shows how he was angry at something enough to hurt himself. He goes, if I'm going to do this, I want it to hurt. I want to suffer. Because, you know, when you strangle yourself, you don't die like within 10 seconds or 20 seconds. It takes a while. And so I think he was angry and hostile. Not hostile, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. He was just angry. He was very angry. I think it maybe, and personally, my opinion, is he was angry at himself for doing this. I think he was mad at himself. He goes, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I got to do this. You know, and I'm so depressed. I feel so bad all the time that I just can't do this no more. I just can't. So he decided to do it. But I think he was so mad at himself for doing it. You know, what do you think?
Well, I think that he did it because he could, and I wished that he had opted to just keep it on.
Right.
But at the same time,
You think he could have waited, or he could have tried to get help instead of committing suicide?
I think that he should have gone somewhere where people were 100 times worse off than him.
Right, yeah.
And lived in that setting for a little while before doing it. That's what I think. I think he should have just...
You know, you just hit a point. There are people out there who have no money, who are absolutely broke, who have a lot of problems in their lives, and they're just as depressed, and they don't do that. Right? That's what you're trying to say? Something like, there are people out there who literally have a worse off situation, you know, and not living in $20 million or $35 million homes, and all that, who don't do that. Who opt not to do it and fight through it. And I know because
Exactly.
we see them on the street all the time around here in LA, and they can't be happy, you know, but at the same time, Robin Williams is going through a depression. They may not be as depressed as him, so we're not going to criticize his decision. I'm not going to criticize. But I am going to, you know, she has a point. She has a very valid point. There's people going through a lot worse problems than Robin Williams is going through. There's people who are just as depressed as he is, and they opt to fight. And they feel better and worse, right? Because we all go through our ups and downs. I was thinking that right now you just said a valid point. I think because there's points in his life I'm sure he was happy. I'm sure there's points in his life he was happy. You know, he wasn't always depressed. I don't think. I hope not. I hope he wasn't on Mork and Mindy with Pam Dauber over there on the back set and always, you know, on the show happy, nana, and then in the background, oh God, why am I alive? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I hope he wasn't like that way back then, and then finally that's why it took 40 years to finally blow or do it. But I'm sure he was happy at certain points, right?
I hope so.
You know, because that's, well, you know, he had a great life, let's say that. He had a successful life in terms of what he did, in terms of all that. But in the end, it was a failure in the sense of he could have waited, right? He could have done what we do. I've been through depression, but not like his. I'm not going to even compare myself to what he was going through. You know, I'm not going to go. But I've thought suicide. Have you ever thought of suicide?
I think back when I was a teenager, I had a moment or two, but I got past that. And
That's kind of funny because I just thought of suicide just a couple of weeks ago. But what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I got past that, and then I believe in the fact that we come back here more than once.
Right.
And
Like,
suicide might be a slap on the hand. If I commit suicide, I might have to come back, with more problems than I had before I committed the suicide. So I kind of think that,
so you think you become, if you commit suicide and then you're reincarnated, you're going to suffer the consequences of the past life that you committed suicide, so it's going to come to your next life.
so you still got to clean it up. You got to go through your life and live the life.
Right.
So, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I figure
No.
why tempt the fates?
Absolutely true. That's true. That's true. Could be bad karma. Because I believe it. I believe in reincarnation too. By the way, I'm a big believer in reincarnation, big time. Because I think there's just so many people, so much when you and so much evidence that there's ghosts and little, we become specters, and when you become a little dot of light like that, I think that's the reason to become a dot like that, because it's easier to enter a body and become reincarnated. I absolutely believe in reincarnation, and that's the funny thing about it is that I don't believe that what you do in one life has anything to do with burying in the next life too much. It could, but at the same time, what the hell? I don't know shit about anything anyways. In all honesty, I just believe in it. It doesn't mean I know anything about it. Courtney has a point. If you do something yourself in one life, it could affect your next life because it's bad karma. And you know what? Actually, now I think about it, that's a valid point. I believe in karma, so karma follows you, I guess, from one life to the next life. So yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So if now you got a valid point there. If you do something to yourself, or you live a certain evil life, like if you're a bad person in one life and then you're reincarnated to the next life, I think you're going to pull that bad karma towards you again. So even if you come back as a good person, you may have some of that bad influence still going around you, like the bad spirits, I guess. Because I also believe in spirits too, by the way. I don't know if they're psychotic, but I believe in negative energy, negative spirits. What are you looking for there, Courtney?
Did I bring my purse up here?
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. You picked it up like 4 times.
I'm like freezing cold.
Are you cold?
Yeah.
It's all right. We're almost done here anyways. We'll be getting off right now. So anyways, this is Courtney Caw again. You guys got to meet her. A friend of mine. You guys will be seeing, I'm going to maybe be going out with her, meeting her at the Improv when I'm down there again, and hooking up with all my other comic friends at the Hollywood Hotel, and then over here at the, wherever I'm at, as a matter of fact, all the places I go to. But I'll be hooking up with all my comic friends. You'll be seeing Courtney again. You'll be seeing my other friend Tamara, and you'll be seeing JR. These are my other friends that I have who are comic friends of mine. And then you'll be seeing all my new friends that I have, right? So anyways, you guys can reach me at rooftoptalk@gmail.com, rooftoptalk@yahoo.com. Facebook me, Hugo August, Alberto August, Rooftop August. And also on Twitter, Hugo Alberto August, Rooftop Talk. And of course right here on YouTube, youtube.com/Rooftop Talk. This is Courtney. Say bye, Courtney. Say bye. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll see you out there. We'll be hanging out. All right. Stay positive. Stay strong. Stay fearless. Salud.
How do we leave the beer bottles here?